everyone, it's Kelsey from Teacher Gems. I've been getting some questions about how to solve my logic puzzles, so I thought I'd put together a quick little video tutorial to show you how to solve a grid-style logic puzzle. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this logic puzzle here, and first I'm going to show you where you can download it for free so that you can follow along with me as I walk you through it. So if you go to my website, teachergems.com, and up at the top here you will see a link for free resources. Click on that and it's going to take you to my free resource library. And here you're going to find loads of goodies, including this logic puzzle. So if you scroll down once you're logged in, and you can easily sign up for an account for free, then scroll down to where you see the fall logic puzzle. Click on that and you can download it there. Once you've downloaded the logic puzzle, you're going to scroll down and there's going to be a page here with instructions that will walk you through how to solve them. But for now, all you need to know is that an X means no and a circle means yes. So when we go down to the actual puzzle here, all of my logic puzzles have three sections. There is a story, a grid, and clues. Now I always tell my students to make sure they read the story, because a lot of times they want to skip over the story, but once in a while I will hide a clue in the story. So let's get started. 4 moms and their kids, boys Kevin and Mitch, girls Tara and Layla, made apple desserts. Read the clues to figure out which one kid helped each mom and what one dessert each mom made. So across the top here in our grid we have the mothers, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Lee, and Mrs. Davis. And then along the side are the types of desserts that they made and the children's names. So now we need to read the clues and try to figure out who goes with who. So clue number 1, Tara helped her mother make apple crisp. Okay, so we can't really mark anything yet, but one thing that I do like to do is just to make a little line here to connect apple crisp with Tara so that I remember that those two things go together. Now let's read the next clue. The kid's name who helped their mom make apple pie is an alliteration. Now if you remember, an alliteration is when 2 or more words start with the same letter. So we want to try to find a child whose first name and last name start with the same letter. So let's look through these. Kevin, is there a last name that starts with a K? No. So then we go to the next one. Tara, is there one that ends with a T? No. How about an M? No. So it has to be Layla. Layla Lee. There it is. So now we put a circle in this box to show that Layla goes with Mrs. Lee. Now that also tells us that Mrs. Lee does not go with Kevin, Tara, or Mitch because she goes with Layla. It also tells us that Layla does not go with Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Smith, or Mrs. Davis. So you see right away we can cross out a bunch of things and fill up our grid. Now it also told us in this clue that the child whose name was an alliteration made an apple pie. So now we can see that Layla made an apple pie, so we can put a circle there. And once again, we can X out all of these other options in the same column because she didn't make any of these other desserts, and in the same row because none of these other mothers made apple pie. All right, clue number 3. Mrs. Smith's son is friends with Kevin. Okay, so that tells us a couple things. First of all, it tells us that Mrs. Smith has a son. So Mrs. Smith cannot go with Tara because she is a girl. And we already crossed out Layla. And it also tells us that her son is friends with Kevin. So obviously her son is not going to be Kevin. So we can cross out Kevin. Now that leaves only one option for her son, which is Mitch. So her son must be Mitch. All right, now we can also X out all of these in the same row because we know that Mitch does not go with any of these other mothers. All right, clue number 4. Neither Mitch nor Mrs. Jones made apple tart. Okay, so Mitch did not make apple tart, and nor did Mrs. Jones. So Mrs. Jones, we can X out. Now, we're through all of our clues, so we need to go back and reread the clues and also look at our grid to see if we can figure anything else out from the grid. Now, if you look here, you can see that 3 of these are X'd out, which leaves this one as the only correct answer possible. So that means that Mrs. Davis made apple tart. Okay, so then we can also X out the rest of these in this column because we know Mrs. Davis did not make any of these other desserts. All right, so now let's reread the clues. Number 1, Tara helped her mom make apple crisp. Okay, yep, we already knew that. Well, let's look at our grid again. I see here that Mrs. Davis made apple tart. So Tara cannot go with Mrs. Davis because Tara made apple crisp, not apple tart. So now if we look at our grid again, we see there is only one option left for Mrs. Davis, and that is to have Kevin as a son. So we'll do that, and we'll mark off this one because we know that Mrs. Jones does not have Kevin as a son. Now we can look at our grid again, and we see this is the only option left for Tara. So that means that, okay, so yes, so now we have all of the kids figured out with who they go with. And now we remember that Tara made apple crisp, so we can put the circle here for apple crisp, which means we can also X out this spot and this spot. And that leaves us with Mrs. Smith and applesauce. So there you go. You can see the whole grid filled out. We completed it all. And if you scroll down a page or 2 pages, I have an answer key so you can check your work and make sure you did it right. All right, now I want to show you where you can find more of these logic puzzles if you enjoy this one. On my website, in my store here, there is a section labeled Logic Puzzles. And there you will find all of my logic puzzles, including my best-selling mystery theme logic puzzles and my bundle that includes all of my current logic puzzles and logic puzzle incentive program. Hey teacher friends, I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, you can subscribe to my channel for more videos like it. I hope your students enjoy these logic puzzles as much as mine have. Thanks for watching.